Hello, this is Rachel Camfield here, and I am happy to be with you. I am going to be sharing a little bit about why I became a coach and what the last 11 years have held, just a little bit, and share a little bit more of my story as I put videos here to extend on just some of the things, so many of the things that I have had the gift of getting to learn. I have learned so much. I have chosen to educate and empower myself. And I just want to pass that on. I want to create a space where this can exist and be a resource. And it just feels really important to do that. So welcome. I got a warm mug, one of my favorites, and I'm excited to share a little bit more. So why I became a coach. I feel like in life, we come into this world and we just assume that things are the way they are, that it just is the way it is until we begin to learn a little bit more, until we begin to realize maybe I do have a choice in this. Maybe there is something that I have more control over than I feel like I currently do. Maybe I can be more empowered than my current experience. And you start like looking around and like seeing different examples of people and how they're living their lives and how they're interacting in their relationships. At least for me, that was a huge part of why I became a coach, was because I realized that I wanted to have a certain kind of a life and an experience of a life. I felt like I was called to enjoy my life and lead a safe and beautiful one. And I just thought, I can figure this out. I want to do this. This is important to me. So my path in the coaching world began early, in the sense that I was never afraid, even as a young little one, to learn more, to read books, to listen to things, to watch videos, to ask people questions, to have relationships with adults and ask them things and learn from them. I started working when I was really, really young. I definitely worked, before the age of 14. I remember getting my work permit at the age of 14, but I was babysitting and doing other things like that in our little small town, at least at the age of 10 or 11. And I just was determined to make a life for myself. And if this comes out kind of like all over the place, sorry, I just want to keep it conversational, and my kids are playing in the backyard right now. So welcome. I hope you hear their laughter. They're having a great time with the hose. So becoming inspired and equipped, learning from others, beginning to educate and empower myself started really early. And then in terms of leadership and inspiring and motivating people, my first inspiration of like a professional who was doing that was my fitness instructor at the YMCA back when I was in high school. And I just saw her, shout out to Nicole, I just saw her as someone who I wanted to be like. I wanted to be someone who, it's probably gonna make me tear up, but just who met you at the door with warmth and generosity and positivity. And I can just like put myself back in that step room right now, doing step with all of the other participants there of many different ages, and just like loving the way I could feel her energy, and it inspired me to be more. And so when I was in college, I thought I would actually be a therapist when I was growing up. I started off with my major in psychology, and I also became a fitness instructor myself. And that was a huge dream of mine, to be able to step into the role that had inspired me so much originally. And so I spent time on my college campus figuring out ways to earn an income, to make money, and to also learn and grow. Hold on real quick. Okay, love the pause feature on the video now. Everybody's good. They were just needing a little support there, which I'm happy to offer and do. So I became a fitness instructor. I was working a lot of different jobs on campus at my alma mater, Virginia Tech. Go Hokies! And I knew that I loved learning about development. I loved encouraging and inspiring. I loved helping people have the relationship, students and sometimes faculty have the relationship with their body, with their health, that they were being called into. I also became a personal trainer. I was the supervisor of the whole group fitness program at Virginia Tech towards the end. And I just was so fueled by the power of transformation, meaning you could come in one way, you could come in feeling depressed or down or just weighed down by life. You could come to one of my fitness classes, come in one way, one state, and then leave another. And like I got to see that over and over and over again with my work on campus. And I loved that. And so about, I don't know, halfway through school, I switched my major from psychology to English. I am a liberal arts girl, English girl to my core. And I kept my minor as psychology because I just knew that, I don't know, I got to a point where I realized like, that's not the path for me. Becoming a full-blown therapist is not the path for me. I am here for empowerment and transformation. I didn't really feel comfortable and I didn't have a desire to get into more of the diagnostic side of things. So that's just a little bit of my backstory. And I love writing and I love words and I love the beauty of literature and powerful writing. And so it has worked well for me. That was pre-social media. That was pre all of the content. Here we are. It worked out well. So then after that, I felt like I needed to get into the business world. I wanted to get into the business world. I had the capabilities and I would have loved to stay and work on my college campus. It would have been wonderful to stay in higher education, incredible people, incredible place to be, but I was just called elsewhere. And so that's how I got into the business world. That's how I started to learn business, was through the wholesale home decor and gift industry. That was a space and a place that I knew nothing about. I had no idea that there was a whole world before you actually got to stores, before you actually got to the end consumer. And once I discovered that world, showrooms, High Point Market, Atlanta Market, the gift shows, the home decor, the buyers, all of that, it was my place. It was my place to learn business. It was my place to have my ballet flats on the ground education, maintaining a territory, growing that territory to regional. And then I finished my career in the wholesale home decor and gift industry with a 7-state territory, and also doing the social media marketing and PR for an amazing brand out in Northern California, which I loved working with the designers and the creators of that company and learning what it was like to work for a multi-million-dollar company, but that was still considered small and original in the category of geographical art. And that was so cool. And at the same time, like worlds were colliding. I was building my career. I had built my career in the wholesale home decor and business world. I had brought a lot of this company and this brand and their storytelling into this Instagram and online space. So like bringing that brand forward and having that conversation. So that was happening. We bought our first house. And I also knew that the chapter and the season of my life was, going to be changing. It was going to be really important for me to make some changes, even though that was really hard for me to do. So why I became a coach was, it was a dream of mine. I always wanted to do it. It was something that I knew I had been dancing around. I had been really close to it. And it was the right time. It was the right time for me. My husband and I, we just decided to take a leap of faith. And I left my career in the wholesale home decor and gift industry. I started my own coaching company and coaching practice in 2015. And it has evolved into what it is today. It is known today as the Gentle Creative. That is the trademarked brand that I have built in the coaching space with transformational coaching and business and branding and life coaching. It's all really melded and mixed in there together. And I love it, love it, love it. So why I did it because I understood the power of transformation in my own life. I did it because I understood the power of transformation in other people's lives. I did it because I felt that I was absolutely called to do it. It wasn't a matter of if it was going to happen. It was just, when is it going to happen? And it also allowed me to become my own best client, right? Like, we teach what we need to learn. And I needed to learn a lot of things in order to have this empowered and beautiful life that I wanted to live. And so I just was able to bring all of that forward, and that's the work that I do today, and I absolutely love it. It fulfills me. It brings me energy. It brings me peace. It brings me joy. There are definitely challenging moments in it. There are definitely times with clients where we are having to really work through hard things. That never goes away, but it is my path, and I am so happy to be here. So that's a little bit about why I became a coach. The other side of the coin I would just add into this part of the conversation is that it allows me to be in charge of my schedule. It allows me to be in charge of my time. Allows me to be home, which is like my favorite place to be. I am truly a homebody, a happy homebody, as I like to call myself. And it lets me be here for my family. My family, some of our pictures behind the wall behind me on our gallery wall, is my prized possession. And this time in our lives, raising my family, having children, being the one who's home, is so important to me. It is my highest priority to be here for them. So it's beautiful that the work of my life that I'm called to live fits into the life that I'm also called to live. And that's why it is worth it to me to make it work, even when I hit bumps and I have challenging chapters and seasons. I'm here for this. This is what I choose. It's also choosing me. So thank you for listening. That is why I became a coach. That's why a little bit about why I do what I do. And I'm excited to continue these conversations. My goal here, I'll share that before we hop off. My goal here is to release 5 little videos every week. I want to release 5 little videos every week because I just want to start offering the beautiful gifts that I've received. I want to share those. I want to have a conversation here. I want to connect. I want to help you on your path if you're even looking for that help and figuring things out. I have a lot to give. I have a lot to offer. And this has been a beautiful first decade of this particular part of my path. And I'm in my second decade now. And I really want to come from a place of generosity and hope and care, because I'm still standing. I'm still here. The work works, and you are worth changing your life for if you need to. So I'll see you back in the next video.